Well, hi there. We're going to do some COVID cooking. I know we're all maybe limiting our trips to the grocery store and trying to cook with what we have at home. So I just thought this came to mind based on a recipe I'd seen for a cioppino. It's a San Francisco fish stew made from the catch of the day. So this is what I have in my pantry and fridge and freezer as a catch of the day. So here's the fish. It's tilapia and haddock, and about 6 shrimp cut into half-inch pieces. Shrimp I've had for a while. You buy a bag of the frozen ones, thaw a few out, grill them. Had some yesterday with some couscous. Did them in garlic and lime juice and butter and olive oil. That was really good. I have about 3 russet potatoes here that I peeled and diced. These are banana peppers or Hungarian hots. Co-worker of my wife, Angela, gives these to us every year. I'll clean them out and freeze them. So I diced and minced those up. It's about 3 cloves of garlic minced. It's a half a can of tomato paste. Got 2 cans of diced tomatoes. This is all my spice mixture here. I've got about a teaspoon each of oregano and basil, some Old Bay, some red pepper flakes, some granulated garlic just to kick it up a little bit more over that. And yeah, this is a mirepoix, onion, celery, and carrots, about 2 carrots, medium onion, maybe 3 or 4 stalks of celery. So we're going to be putting this in the pot soon. I'm starting that process. But this is what I'm working with. I'll in some olive oil to sweat these down, and salt and pepper, of course. So. Okay, so I've got my pot here on medium heat. About 3 tablespoons of olive oil in it. Got my mirepoix. Letting that come up to temperature there, get a little warmer. You can start to see it shimmering on the surface there. Since we're sweating these, not really sauteing them, probably put them in there now. Hands are your greatest utensil when you're cooking, as long as you keep them clean, especially in these COVID times, right? So I'm going to stir that so we get some oil on all of that. And a little pinch of kosher salt. Fresh ground black pepper, and we'll just let this go until those veggies kind of sweat out a little bit of their moisture, get a little tender. See how that goes. Okay, hopefully you can hear that sizzling a little bit as that's sweating out. Very fragrant, these aromatics. Still needs to cook a little while longer, then maybe 2 minutes. Let that go a little while longer. You can see some of the liquid coming up there on the bottom maybe, as the moisture sweats from the vegetables. Okay, I'm going to add the fresh garlic now. It still needs to sweat a little bit more, but put this in. Watch it so that it doesn't burn. Incorporate that into the mixture we have already. all of that was in a dice, all the mirepoix, the onion, carrots, and celery, garlic, and a mince. Okay, that's been going for a few minutes now. It's onions are getting translucent. Everything's looking pretty good. Obviously the carrots aren't going to be tender yet, but they're going to have time to cook. So at this point I like to add the tomato paste whenever I'm using it. I don't add it after I've got a lot of liquid in there. I like to add it so that it's actually getting cooked. I think it makes the flavor richer. I'm going to stir that in there. There's not whatnot. And you really get that tomato aroma coming up. And this is getting, you can see that. Put the tomatoes in there now. Let that go a little bit longer. Turn my heat down a little bit. This is going for another couple minutes. You can kind of see what it's looking like in there now. We really incorporated that tomato paste into the mirepoix. And I think this is a good time to add my spices. Again, I've got some oregano, basil, granulated garlic, Old Bay, and crushed red pepper flakes. And we'll stir that in. Wow, you know, those spices get that heat and that moisture in there, the oil that's clinging there, the moisture from the tomato paste. Really aromatic. I'll let that go a little longer here. Okay, so the spices, tomatoes, paste, mirepoix, garlic have all been in there getting happy together. I'm going to put in 2 cans of diced tomatoes with their juices. Okay, you can see that the sound has subsided, so that means that, you know, my heat needs to be coming back up a little bit. Just making sure to stir to incorporate the tomatoes with everything else that we had in there previously. Let that come up to 10. You can see this has only been a couple minutes, if that. The heat's bringing up on there. Turn it down a little bit. Seems like a good time to add our peppers. I'm going to stir those in. These things are finicky. I mean, when you're cleaning them, sometimes you can actually feel the capsicum, you know, kind of tickling your skin, if you know what I mean. And then other ones they're kind of mild. These I can kind of get a little fragrance coming off of them. That they may add some heat to this, but I'm not opposed to heat. You know, if you had like a green pepper or a red pepper or yellow pepper, that would be a nice nutritious addition to this. And certainly, you know, this is just cooking what I got, you know. You can see even at medium-low heat, this is kind of bubbling. Consistency's thick. So, I was debating whether I would use water or stock, but I think I'm going to use stock. And I have some store-bought chicken broth here. And I'm going to add that in 1 can, using my tomato cans. That slowed things down a lot. And I guess you could decide how thick or thin that you want this. How stewy or soupy. I mean, you're the one going to be eating it. Or your version of this, whatever you got. So that was 2 cans. So we got like a quart of stock here. So that was about 28 ounces. I got a little bit left. I'll probably put the whole thing in. So I'm going to let that sit for a little while. Get any goodies that came up on the top of the, came up to the side of the pan there. Let that go. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to taste it. Just to see what's going on in there. It's not bad. There's definitely some heat going on. I think these potatoes I'm about to add are going to take care of that. Probably need to add some salt and pepper. I'll check the seasoning again later. But let's put these in. I think my stew is going to be a thick one, but that's okay. All I can do with some hearty, nutritious food right now. Adding the rest of my stock. Chicken broth, store-bought chicken broth. Keep that in the pantry a lot too. It's good to cook rice in for extra flavor, or make soup with leftover rotisserie chicken. Do a lot of things with it. Okay. I'm going to let that go and simmer so the potatoes get tender. And then we can check everything out. The fish and the shrimp will go in last because that won't take but a minute to cook. So that'll go in pretty much right before I'm about ready to eat it. Okay, so I checked in on this and just to my taste I added a little bit more of the Old Bay seasoning and a little bit more salt and black pepper. And you can see that's kind of nice and thick, stewy there. It's been going, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes. Got it on low heat. Gonna probably put it into simmer mode here soon, and then I can add the seafood at the last minute there. That in this heat will cook pretty quickly. This would probably not be work microwave friendly. And they always tell you don't take fish to work and heat it up in the microwave, so I don't know. my wife's co-workers kind of like my cooking, so maybe they'd forgive her if they got some. Could be some of this left over for lunch tomorrow. Alrighty, we'll let it go a little longer. Check the seasoning again. Put this down on an even lower simmer. Off we go. Oh, I just wanted to make one correction. I was listening back to what I had recorded previously. I'm doing this like in terms of modern video recording, very primitive methods. And I noticed that I said something about sauce. I was talking about the stock. I bought boxes, the hermetically sealed boxes of chicken broth, and I just was using the can to put that in, pouring it from the box into the can, getting the last of the tomatoes out of there, and not giving anyone any free advertising. But so there was a 32-ounce box, a quart, and I used that whole quart in this recipe here. Okay, this is where we're at now. This has been going for about, I don't know, an hour and a half. Simmering, just really wanting to get the carrots and the potatoes tender. The volume reduced a little bit as it was cooking, so I've added a little water, check the seasoning, everything sounds really good, or tastes really good. So I'll be adding the fish now, the fish and the shrimp. And this won't take long to cook at all. It is spicy. Have to say that. I don't know if it was the Hungarian hots or the red pepper flake I put in my spice blend there, but there's definitely some heat going on. So I got this way down on low. I'm gonna partially cover. My wife will be home from work soon. Let that fish kind of poach in the liquid there, the fish and the shrimp. Should be ready to go when she gets here. Okay, so this is the finished product. Got fish stew, and I thought something crispy and cheesy would be good to go with it. So I had some naan bread in the fridge, toasted that, and put it back in the toaster with some cheese on it. So you have a little flatbread there to go with this to soak up the broth. So you could do this with chicken, I don't know, whatever you got if you don't like fish. But, well, hope you're surviving. God bless y'all. Bye.